Hey Loreno, or Irelan, as your channel name is. Um, Thanks for your reply. I'm sorry I've taken so long to get back to you, but I've been doing some things, and I wanted to think about your video without really explicitly reflecting on it, but just sort of letting it stew, I guess. Anyway, uh, I'm not sure how to reply to your video, but I'm just going to go over some points that I took down as I was listening. Uh, First of all, I'm not sure. I'm just curious as to what you think the word autopoetic means. And at 3 minutes and 24 seconds, about at 3 minutes 24 seconds, you said that that you firmly believe with Heidegger that we are not that although we are self-interpreting something like this. You said although we are self-interpreting, we are not autopoetic. I'm not sure what you think that means exactly, but I'd like to. I know you're not using it in the correct sense because it doesn't make sense that the word was coined to be used for. But but that doesn't matter. I'm not trying to lecture you, but I'm just wondering what you meant by that exactly. It seems like you meant that we're not. Oh, I don't know. I'll let you answer. Because Heidegger never ever, I don't think, no, Heidegger definitely never ever referred to the word autopoiesis or anything about being autopoetic in any way. Although he did talk about cybernetics in some of his in the Zolikon seminars, but I don't know. Okay, and then around, so that's my first thing. Second thing is around 4 minutes and 20 seconds. You said we are an accident. I don't know what that means either, really. I mean, unless you believe in God, who or a god or gods who had an intention or a plan, and then they failed. Um, they accidentally did something and which created us. So like it was going to be one way, and then somehow it was an accident happened, and we are now here. Um, like I said, I don't really know what that means, and I know that Professor Anton has made some videos on, are we an accident, a cosmic accident, etc. And it's funny if you look back at the etymology of the word, something that Heidegger would do. Accident goes back to uh, they used to talk about the accidental properties of something, which was something non-essential. But when they go all the way back, pretty far, it goes to refers back to chance. So chance having to do with the roll of the dice, which was bound up with religion and especially Christianity, and people would play dice, and it was a thought of as throwing dice was thought of as you know probabilities that were influenced one way or another by God, and so what kind of person you had been would determine what kind of luck you had when you rolled the dice, and that was sort of how the word came into popular use, as far as I understand it, and that's why Thomas Bayes, or Reverend Bayes, he developed a new concept of probability, which is now called Bayes probability or Bayes decision probability. So I mean, right, this is all bound up with theological context. Anyway, what I'm really interested in is why you say we are an accident. I don't. That sounds to me like just I don't mean to insult you, but that really does sound like just regurgitation of something that existentialists or something have said, and which has no grounding in anywhere in phenomena except for in the phenomena of experience, except for idle talk, popular idle talk, you might say, like, we're an accident, and it's just a response. It's just at one extreme as a response to we were planned. This is all planned. It's just another pendulum swing in the opposite direction. So don't give into that unless you really believe it. But if you saying I believe XYZ has if your seriousness has been indicated on any level of by your comments on autopoiesis, maybe you're just talking to talk. I don't think you are. So I'm wondering, first, the autopoietic thing at 3 minutes 24 seconds. Second, at 4 minutes and 20 seconds, we are an accident. And please don't regurgitate and try to give me some understanding of what you really mean here. Um, okay, now around the minute, just after that, around 4:32, you said that being humble or humbleness is a necessary condition for the possibility of moral character. So I guess being humble is a transcendental for the transcendental, uh, a transcendental condition, which means it's the condition for the possibility of something. I don't understand why. I mean, that's just I mean, as far as we know from history, uh, there were, if you look at Nietzsche's genealogy of morals, he talks about the Greek hero who was considered moral, to have moral character and to be strong. He wasn't humble by any means. He was proud and strong, and that I think that what you're giving, the story you're giving about being humble, I I don't think that that's any kind of a universal transcendental condition for the possibility of moral character, because as you said, um, humbleness, or as you said, moral character is something changing day to day. How do you hold both those views at the same time? How do you hold that we have no fixed essence, and then you go and say that being humble is a necessary condition for the possibility of something? Well, that would mean that we had some fixed essence that, and that in order to achieve this essence, which is moral character, that there is this fixed uh, condition for the possibility of this, which is, a fixed property, which is being humble. So humbleness all of a sudden is, if you're going to make that a transcendental condition for the possibility of something, then you got to have what's made actual by that condition for the possibility. So the possibility made actual is then moral character, and that would have to be a constant also. So that doesn't work. But and there have definitely been other cultures, and it depends on the context and what do you mean by moral character, etc. I think that being humble is a part of what I was talking about. Your moral character is something that stays with you, and being humble precisely is a part of, if that's what you are, then being humble is you, is me, is whoever the humble person is. It's not like you have the person and then you attach the humble on it, so that once you have that, then you have the transcendental condition for the possibilities, and then you can add also on, add also the extra attribute of having moral character. No, I mean, being humble, um, having a certain moral character. These are all things that are necessarily social, intersubjective, because what counts as, what comes to be experienced as being humble, is between people. It's not in a person. It's in the interaction, literally. So if you can't have, that's a complex thing, but it's not having humbleness. It's being humble. I mean, that's what we want to stress here. Um, and moral character is, being, having moral character is one thing, but like being the kind of person that has moral character, that has moral character that we attribute to it later, is pre-reflectively acting, not, so I don't know that the standards with which we immediately pre-reflectively judge someone as being of moral character or not are outside of any kind of necessary condition for the possibility of something, especially humbleness, which, as I said, the Greeks didn't that's a very Christian way to look at it, Nietzsche would say. And finally, I'm getting run out of time here, but finally, at 5 minutes and 5 seconds, you said we should be reminded every day of death. Again, this sounds like regurgitation of Heideggerian nonsense. I mean, if you listen to Dreyfus's video, he says that he just talking about being towards death, so we can stop talking about, we can get beyond this, that this thing that Schopenhauer started. Well, he didn't say that, but to get beyond this. So why would you want to be reminded every single day of it? That's ridiculous. I mean, there are tons of people who came before Heidegger, before his concept of being toward death, who were morally good people, and this is just something that Heidegger came along with, and it's probably not divorced from his Nazi ties. But anyway, thanks a lot.